Hi, welcome to the Creative Odyssey podcast. My name is Sharan, and today I am so excited to bring one of my childhood friends and a Sri Lankan treasure, I would call it, an amazing creative. Without further ado, Devashree, thanks for being on the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. Now that I know Sharon is also your
Listen,
other name,
yeah, it's my middle name, became first name over there.
which is actually, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Nipun, as I know him, but yes, Sharon, thank you. And I like the addition of Akki. Oops.
I cannot call you by name. What? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I have to.
Call me which I
Yeah. So, my audience wants to know, who are you and how'd you come to this place? How'd you become a singer, musician?
Wow. Okay, so yes, I mean, I think your audience is like very varied now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
True.
yeah,
You have the Sri Lankans and also, yeah.
So, I mean, I really don't identify myself as a mainstream singer or like of that nature, but I do sing. I do sing. I have been singing from small days, and I suppose I took it a little more seriously after I won a couple of competitions when I was about 17. I felt like, okay, that was something maybe I hadn't identified before as a big strength. I mean, I knew the talent actually, whatever I have, comes from my family. My parents and my brother, they're very talented, actually, sometimes even more than me. They're just, they do their compositions, my father and mom, my mother.
I remember.
So from very small days, I think I was exposed to this kind of very natural like artistry. It has gospel roots. So my dad composes mainly Christian songs, and so does my mom, and they play multiple instruments.
Yes.
So with this background, I think I remember this a little bit vividly when I was small. When they play the guitar or the piano, I used to like really respond. Like I used to be fascinated and waiting for that time. And then this took on. So schools, church background, and then these competitions. And then I got to work with a few names at that time who invited me to collaborate on some of their work, and then commercials and jingles. And then I did some backup vocals to start with. That's where all the singers mainly, you got to start somewhere, right? Those things really helped me to grow and learn. Even now, I mean, sometimes I love to just do the harmonies, do that behind the scenes work as well, because from that you can really learn a lot. That took me again to meet different people. So that's how like some doors opened. And I suppose when you are like consistent at something, I'm not the biggest at making big splashes and noises because I used to multitask a lot.
Okay.
I used to put my degrees in sociology, my master's in performing arts, but I used to work like properly in the development sector, the media. So it wasn't just music, shut up.
Wow.
So that's how, I balanced it out, but music was not a highlight. I think it's only in the last few years that I have like properly given some time for just be us. Right. So that's how I've come along. And then meeting these people opened the doors to work with them in bands and collaborate on performances live. So some of these experiences like plunged me into waters that I didn't think I could do. So I think that was the discovery where I realized little things like improvisation, like that I find joy in styles that connect with improvisation, like just spontaneous delivery, fusing Western and Eastern music. But that's also a place that I like, a sweet spot I like. So those things have brought me to where I am. I would say multiple collaborations and then my own singles, a few, not a lot, and mainly live performances that have made me who I am.
Yeah. First of all, I didn't know you did sociology and all of that stuff. I think your brother would agree with me that we thought you're going to be like immediately getting into music and stuff like that. I remember thinking, talking early. Yeah. I connected with him recently and I was like, yeah, we knew Aki was going to go there. See,
You could say so, yeah.
yeah. I think, it's funny. I was watching you because I left around 17. So, like,
Yeah.
I've been watching you since over there, just like watching you progress. And every song you got came, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool, cool, cool. So, you mentioned at around 17 when you recognized. Did you always know that you were a creative person? Or did you have to hide it and put it away?
No, I think I knew. I knew. People will laugh. This is like my silly side. Anyway, I have a huge silly side, guys. So I laugh. I can't.
Be yourself. No. Do whatever you do.
So this silliness, I think silliness is the stem for my imagination and creativity. When I was small, I used to such a simple girl, right? From all the toys I had, I used to like any balloon just because whatever color, never mind, not fussed about. Take a balloon and I draw a face. Or it has to be a face.
Okay.
No wonder Castaway with Tom Hanks, my favorite.
Right.
Because why he had that
The ball.
Wilson.
Yeah, the Wilson, yes. Yes, he draw a few face on the ball. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I so relate to this. I wasn't, and I was actually at home. There were people around me, but I used to create characters just painting on the balloon. And then I used to just, you can swipe it, no, it keeps thing, and walk with it and talk and like sing along. Yeah. Like, that was the beginning, I think.
Like imaginary character.
Imaginary. And then wherever, we also, this very well, and we have to shift houses.
Yeah.
When we moved from parish to parish, my father is priest and he's retired now. So whenever we move, I'm very sentimental. I still have that streak in me. So I would find the favorite wall and like write something. And then it eventually became a line or two, like a creative line, like, I will miss you, but I will see you. Something that rhymes.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I think these things would happen small days. So, and which took me to, at school, I enjoyed literature and music and that creative expression. I started to, actually, good thing you asked, Shanam, when I was 14, got a really bad bout of chickenpox. Couldn't go to school for about 2 weeks.
Right.
That spell was amazing for me because I started to write some new songs. And at the end of that whole episode, we could produce a small cassette at that time. The gospel cassette.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a few of these things I recognized in me, and I would say people close to me, family and teachers, I think they gave some encouragement and motivation.
Your brother just recently told me that he remembered you asked him to do literature and you were going to help him and you never did it.
Oh no. Yeah. 4 years between us. I think when we were teenagers, like, small days.
You can speak his English fine.
Small days, we were close. But then again, teen time, we had this little, I'm in my wall, you do your thing.
Yeah.
And then now, it's like best friends. Yeah.
That's awesome. When you're writing or performing, what does creativity feel like in your body, in your soul, in the moment?
Wow. That's an amazing question, Shannon. What does creativity feel like?
When you're in the creative mindset or doing it.
Yeah. I would say it's extremely liberating. It's not always joyful. Sometimes some streaks of creativity bring some weight because some experiences, it could be life experiences, or it could be things you relate to in other people's life journeys. It could be difficult stuff as well. But I think either way, joyous or challenging, it's very liberating. So that's the feeling one of the feelings that I very much cherish in this journey, right? I'm sure you know this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even if you are singing somebody else's song or your own, or not just music, you're basically creating something, anything, right? Any medium. The liberation of knowing that you're adding, you extract it, you get things from everywhere, but you're also putting a little fingerprint of yours, the unique print.
Yeah.
And it brings a lot of Yeah, that freedom, that expression, freedom of expression, I think is priceless.
Is music the only way you create and express yourself?
No. No, but music is a highlight for sure. But I feel like even small things these days, actually, a couple of days ago, I was thinking to myself, I am really bad at PR, Sharan, and like social media. Like, you say, when you are in this industry or as an artist, a new skill is that you have to,
Yes.
these days, you
Yes.
have to do that,
Yes.
right? Like maintain your
Yes.
social media and the connections with your audience. I'm not very good at it, but I've slowly come a small way, and I'm giving a pat on one.
Please do. Please do. You're way too humble. Like, seriously.
Yeah, so recently I was like very happy and proud of I like to personalize my stories, like small things, my posts, and like a tiny addition of tiny creativity. And if it's like the smallest subtle thing, it means a lot to me because even if one person reads between the lines and gathers that, I would be very happy. Like a recent post I did, the sequence of my photographs and there's an interpretation there. So one person has sent me a DM saying like he had gathered something. I was like, whoa, wow, well done. Like I didn't tell him about that. I was like, thank you. It's really sweet.
I do enjoy your going and saying hi to the stray dogs on your stories. I think that makes you superhuman.
You're not the first person. I never knew this would touch so many. There are quite a few who can come up to me and tell me.
Because it's honestly, my brother, he also trains dogs and works with them. And every time even I see stray dogs here, they're very happy.
Yeah.
Like they're very free dogs, and nobody actually takes the time to, except for feeding them, nobody actually takes time to like love on them. And that's such a unique thing about your personality.
So this particular dog. So down my street, I've realized, and obviously I fed her. That's why she recognized me. But sometimes if the food is just lying there, she just wants an company.
Right.
She's so sweet. She's really looking for some love, just some friendship. Like she wants to hang out a bit, and she's happy for a few minutes.
Right.
Yeah. So at the park, she's always hanging around. I think her boyfriend is somewhere around the park, which I'm very happy about because she's very lonely before. And this particular guy, like I call him Spotty because he's spotted, like black and white fellow. I think he takes care of her. It's good for her. So she waits, and it's a sweet moment. Yeah.
Do you have like rituals or habits that help you tap into your creative zone, especially when the pressure is high?
I think I need to comply with a little more. It'll help me, which I don't have an exact ritual per se, but I think it's a very important one. Actually, I think it's a very important one. Thank you for that. But I think for me, I really need some space. Like it's not because I want to be rude or like I don't want like people or something, but for me, before my entry or before like getting into that performance, I really need to be alone a bit. Anyway, I'm a bit of a loner, Sharan.
Really?
I am. I really enjoy alone time. Nothing to do with loneliness. Plenty of people around.
Yeah.
I love alone time. I think actually now when I talk about this with you, that's what really helps me to go inwards and get some things out creatively. A lot of ideas come during that time of silence.
Solitude.
And I also really cherish silence. I think it's also because we are exposed to so much sound and happenings all the time. But I really cherish silence.
I just got down talking to a guy who's in the quantum computing world and solving like real problems, right? And one thing he said was he spends sometimes hours by himself, and he even does meditating where he envisions a highway, and he pays attention to the cars going by. And the cars are the thoughts. And eventually, once he's like in that process, all of a sudden the cars disappear, and then the idea starts to flow. And it's super interesting because one thing I also was talking to him was, especially in society, and I've seen this in Sri Lankan society, hierarchy and positions and titles are very ego. That's like kind of thing, right? And I asked him how does because he was in Silicon Valley at 14 years old after he developed an app, and
Genius.
he's a genius.
Okay.
And I'm like, how did you not get your head up, all the way high? And he's like, at a very young age, he was told to always like stop and think and be silent and look and from the outside objectively in yourself and all of that stuff.
Wow.
And that has helped me grounded.
It's very rare.
Very rare.
Extremely rare what he has just said, like shared with you. Yeah. And how old is he?
He's now 30.
Okay, so he's not that, in that age range.
And he figured that out at a very young age too.
At a very young age, and that's a big leap.
Hugely.
Usually, yeah.
So that's how you stay grounded? The solitude.
Yeah, solitude really helps me. And I think my faith, when I say faith, not religious, but my spiritual connection with the Father, the God, universe, the Creator, is very important to me. That's really important. And then I would say, nature. Like, again, if you take me out of nature, I think I would be very unhappy.
Yeah.
I really need to see a tree.
Yeah.
At least like a green leaf somewhere. I need some greenness. This is also a discovery during COVID times. And I love animals. And a few close people, like who you really trust. Because again, if you have a circle but you can't trust them, imagine life.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
I've gone through my own, what do you call, habits, not habits, but instances, experience to figure that out myself.
Yeah.
How do you find inspiration, or what inspires you?
What inspires me? Okay. Sharon, this podcast is so good for my soul.
Oh, good. That's the idea for you and for me and the viewers.
Creative Odyssey indeed.
Yeah, your journey.
Authenticity really inspires me. So I think from small days, I think I was drawn to this. And maybe because of that, sometimes I was the weird one because I wasn't really into trends. Like, I actually, like, when you're young, when you like to dress the way everyone does, right? There's if something is in fashion. And so, I mean, sometimes I do. It's not like, I will break the rule, and not like that.
Yeah.
But like sometimes naturally I'm drawn to wear something else also in Bikit. Anyway, so authenticity really inspires me in people, in artists who I admire. All of them are very like rooted, and I love that. Authenticity. Secondly, I would say people with emotional maturity, situations, people, anything that has less drama and more depth. Yeah. And definitely humor and silliness and not taking yourself seriously, knowing we have one short life,
Right.
Please just have fun with it.
Right.
While doing, the hard stuff that life has always given us. That's how it is. I would say, there's a list, but let's just put it down to these three.
So then when inspiration feels distant, how do you find your way back to your voice?
When inspiration feels distant, how do I come back to it?
How do you find it again? How find your voice again?
Okay, so like you said,
Does it even happen to you?
yeah, that's the thing, Sean. Plant. But see, when you put words and you have to like define, now you define it.
Yeah.
It's not always, it's a feeling that you don't get to express now. So like you just mentioned about like maybe your life's journey, I think I too have had many spots where I didn't even know who I was or where I was. You had to like unlearn and rewind and sort of find yourself again. How do I do that? That's your question now. Again, that alone time. I think sometimes like let's say in different situations, being alone can be the bravest thing you can do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like let's say even in terms of human relationships as humans, we always need this, we thrive on love and someone wanting you and you wanting them back and all these things. But I think sometimes I was very afraid to be alone when it came to relationships. So finding that courage to be alone and find inspiration to know your own timeline and not compare, to really take pride in your blossoming, your own garden. The grass is never greener. Like, it's how you water it and how you are consistent with the little bit you have. Maybe a couple of seeds you have, you try. And maybe storms come, blah, blah, blah. You die out, but you can try again, right? So I would say these are the ways I find my inspiration, like find it.
Back to your voice.
Back to my voice, that's the one. And when you talk about voice, literally, Sharon, like it now as a singer, one of the other scariest points I would think that maybe even one singer or musician will identify with this, when you actually lose your voice.
I remember you had something like that, right?
Yeah. No, you fall sick time to time. I think COVID really affected me because I got it twice.
Oh, wow.
And the second time, like, the way I recovered, my singing voice was not me. It was people. People wouldn't identify. They are like, oh, no, it's still nice. It's good. But for me, I was like, no way. This is shit. It's terrible. Like breath work, everything was all over the place. And sometimes literally losing the voice also in adherence. That can be scary. And then you realize, like, you take it for granted so much.
Yeah.
That these things are really good realizations, but there was nothing compared to actually losing your voice when it comes to nobody actually validating you or hearing you or seeing you, a lot of things involved here. So literally losing voice and feeling like you don't have a voice, I think again are two things that are very challenging. But when it happens, sometimes it's good it happens because it awakens you to take care of yourself better. Literally, voice-wise, and psychologically.
Was there a point in your life when you like realized, okay, I'm actually a creative, like this is my job, this is what I do now?
Yeah.
How long did it take?
Yeah, doing a 9-to-5 job consecutively, like for a few years, made me realize it's not for me. And I'm a true creative. I need space. I can't function this way for too long. Like I said, I mean, see, even this kind of thing, like as a sociological point of view, or as a sociologist, not that I am, but if you are, then you love to listen to people, you love to observe, identify patterns and all these things, right? So that's another part of me, and I put that into work, like with certain other areas, subject areas, but then I can't do a proper, like a normal job. So then I realized, okay, you have to just understand that you're a creative and find work and joy elsewhere. That's what I did.
Okay.
And that has worked.
When was a time somebody's words discouraged you and you almost gave up?
Whoa. Wow. Even recently, I didn't give up. No. I don't think I give up. And you see, that's the thing. Age does this thing to,
Right. But it didn't happen to you when you were young?
Very much. At school, during school time.
No way.
Yeah, that was, I wouldn't go into the, because again, I think humans change, over time.
Oh, yeah.
Years later.
Go into detail because I think it's cool for young people to even see that.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's what is so important.
I don't need names. Nobody cares about names.
No, like leaderships, like people you look up to. Sometimes, see, when you don't deliver exactly the way the masses do, use the prototype, you know what I mean? Then you are looked as like you're a question mark for them, So maybe in their eyes, like they have many other justifications.
Yeah.
But as a growing young person, it really affects you. So I think you have to just give space, especially for like teenagers, people like they need that evolution, they need the time. So I had the time where I was thinking, oh my goodness, am I really that difficult, or don't I have much talent, or why can't I do it the way everyone else does? For instance, like be fully classical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just deliver classically. Why am I so drawn to various other styles? So when I didn't know better, I would think there's something not too right with me. Like, why can't I like that?
Is that why you call yourself not mainstream?
Yeah, see, I was never that Nipur. Never. So Attaramada.
In the middle, huh?
Yeah, in the middle. But I'm so proud of being an in-betweener now because there's so many who will anyway do what they're doing. Like now, see, there's so many.
Yeah.
So I am happy being different.
I mean, even globally, like, I don't know if you've noticed the last couple of years, a lot of like Sri Lankan, like even Indian, like young artists are coming up because of their unique voice, and they're like very well known globally and things like that.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting when you mentioned like I'm not mainstream. Like I think about like what does that actually mean?
Yeah, but now some people will be laughing. They'll be like, no, of course you made it. Exactly. There are many different works or collaborations that I think takes me there, and it's identified as that. But if you really look into me, then I think I'm not. I'm not. But because I have tagged along the way or joined a certain framework in that piece of work, it goes as mainstream. Yeah.
How did you find like-minded individuals that uplifted you in this journey? Did you go out of your way to find them?
Actually, now I'm going out of my way to find them. I think as you get older. Sorry, lipstick. I think. No, right? Nothing on my...
No, you're good. I would have told you something. Yeah.
Such a man.
I'm married now. I gotta be careful. I have to be very in tune to these things, right?
Congratulations. That's so sweet. She has framed you very well.
Yes, absolutely.
I was saying, what was the question? Oh, yeah. So I was fortunate to find a few people along the way. And I think they are the ones who are still around, Shara. Still around, which is a joy. But lately, I mean, you get busy with life and life takes you different places, and some of them are scattered all around the world. So now I'm looking for a few more who are closer.
Right.
In proximity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you've been in the industry for a long time in Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
What are like some of the positives and negatives that you have seen in there?
Okay.
By the way, how many years have you been in the industry?
Oh.
You guys.
Gosh, no, I actually haven't counted. I think about for 20 something years now, no? Like if you look at it, my age and all. Hold on. I'm very proud of my age. And by the way,
Yeah.
watching me, please. Like that's another whole topic. Just love it. Love the journey that you're going. But I'm just joking. I like to joke. About 20 something years, yeah. Okay, so the question was, what do I find not to...
What are some of the positive things that, like, so my audience doesn't know enough about Sri Lankan music scene. So what are some of the positive things that you have found and even negative things?
Okay. Positives are, I think Sri Lankan music is so, if you really look at it, very diverse given our roots and given our national, what you call, we are one nationality, of course. We are all wonderful Sri Lankans. Mm-hmm. But amongst us, that's the beauty of it, right? The diversity of Tamils, Sinhalese, Burghers, people who believe in the Islam traditions. I would say Muslims, but then the different faiths also.
Yeah.
So the music styles, I would say, like say, starting from prayers or those ritual sounds, chants from the temples to the mosque, to the Hindu Kovil, to the church. It's amazing, Shran, if you think about it, and how it has fed the cultural sound thread. It's fascinating. Some of the sounds I identify with those who are in the Islam faith, they have such strong delivery is reflected in those voices who have had that influence, that background.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. There's so much to learn from that. Same with the church, right? The
Mhm.
choral,
Yeah.
we come effortlessly with harmonies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We
Yeah.
don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But it can be a thing to learn for some others. Like
Mm.
a lot of like things to learn from the Buddhist temple. I mean, again, sometimes just one note, but so consistent and so dedicated.
That's very true.
Oh, that one note. I mean, it's amazing. Hindu, the same. Anyway, so how it has spread. One, that's something I really admire about Lanka. Secondly, again, connected languages, linguistics, again, how it fits into different songs. I think sometimes we're not brave enough to include. We can very happily include so many, even one-liners from languages, but it can be so rich,
Right.
and so intriguing. Again, I find that really amazing because some creative pieces do have that. And I would say number 3, the DNA, I think our islanders, like island people, we seem to have some kind of rhythm in our body, like naturally. And it's so evident, like even those who may not know or want to sing or anything, they're still very inclined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They like to listen, they like to move. A party will never end, like it'll always have some element of
Yeah. People singing, right? That's a normal
they
thing.
get a guitar out suddenly. I mean, like I don't know, something happens.
Yeah.
Like musically. So those are things I think that are amazing. Yeah.
And in the music industry?
Industry, the same.
Same.
All right. I mean, lately I would say the positives have been like new voices and new like sounds, how we've been open to that, and like I love like some rappers and rapping, like the girl rappers. Like, see, I mean, Sri Lanka had to come a small way to like be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember.
Open
Yeah.
to various like Western influences as well.
They're amazing poets too. I've listened to them rap. Yeah.
Beautiful poet, because we anyway have heavy influences from the South, like in the Indian influence, and of course our own folk music. Yeah, but then there are a few things that I lately have reflected on that we need to work on also.
Okay.
Can I tell that?
Probably. Yeah, of course. Why not?
Yeah. Like lately, there's something I really want to share with the fellow Sri Lankans. I feel like I told you now it's in our DNA and we love to, this thing we're so inclined. But somewhere along the way, I think we have put up a little bit, lost the plot a little bit. Where now some concerts or we have a lot of shows happening. The level of sound, I feel now, there's so much music happening, good music, but a very unhealthy level of sound, as I'm talking about here, like decibel.
That's true.
Right? This is an extremely unhealthy level we're going at. Partly, I would say it's because some of them are intoxicated, so they're not aware. But for those who are not, again, it's up to you. It's your choice. You can obviously have some drinks and do whatever you wish. It's your entertainment. What you want to make of the night or that time. But you cannot do it at the expense of everyone's like
Hearing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's a topic that I think now music directors and bands and people are talking about, artists, healthy levels. Like I think sometimes we go beyond 100, 103. Like I think metal bands are generally, they produce a sound of about 110 in that level, which is again that genre.
Right.
The different things. Maybe some people even come with, they come ready. But these shows, I'm talking about varied age groups, older and younger. We really have to consider this, because otherwise this good music is really wasted because of noise. This is really something I'm extremely passionate about, because right now there are some places I love to be there, but I can't be there.
Yeah.
I can't.
Honestly, recently, I won't mention the place, but somebody recommended me to go there because they have live music. And my wife, my brother, we walked in and we literally walked out because it was so loud. Like you can't even hear yourself think.
That's the thing. So I think internationally, people will be very like shaken up because you don't have, I don't think over there in the US, or I don't think it's allowed. I don't know.
I don't know. I never thought about that. That has never become even a thought. So I'm guessing it is understood.
Yeah.
Uh,
So this is like a very technical one. But the other one I would just quickly touch on is it's again because of love for something they get hooked on. But it's okay to like a certain genre and dislike something. But the small amount of curiosity, we can have an open mind for different styles, different deliveries, different artists, different personas, and that we are a little bit close. Sometimes we get hooked onto one thing and we're just there and we don't want to. Actually, it's even okay if you don't want to, but the issue here is they criticize it or they dismiss it very blindly just because they don't understand it.
right.
So that is a challenge I think Sri Lankans have to think about seriously. Just because you don't, this is not just music. If you don't understand something, it doesn't mean that it is something to be dismissed completely for everyone. You know what I mean? So we need to, think about these things.
You know, I noticed a lot of Sri Lankan music. It's a lot of minor scales.
You're so correct.
Where does that? I'm not saying it's bad or not, but I'm just saying where does that come from? Why don't we hear many major scales like positive? Not that the negative, the minor scales are not negative, but it's a lot of like sad topics and it almost feels like inspiration comes from like either like a heartbreak or a positive time when your love life is going really well, or then baila. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
You're really correct. It's amazing. Yeah. I need to find out too. But this is something sometimes when we are composing, I have heard few musicians say, Machan, just tell that to the minor, it will go better.
What I mean, why is that? Is there sadness in there? Or are we people with so much depth? Or
I
mourning?
think there is an attraction. Change is no wonder. We see new good things happening to our country, which is happening. But I think we're we're drawn to a little melancholy.
Melancholy, yeah.
We have that streak, so it's unavoidable. I think we have it. Everyone.
Why does that speak so well to Sri Lankans? Like me?
You know, like this, like in for fun, I'm saying, like for sob stories, like you take reality shows, you insert a little bit of sad element, like it really goes well with everybody. So I feel like sometimes we had to really redefine joy and like even small moments of little happiness, like what it means to us.
Because the interesting thing is there are some songs that are in minor keys that have joy in it through the poetry.
Yeah.
And there's so much deeper meaning and like life lessons and all that kind of stuff, which I have to admit that I only became interested once I went to US. Like I didn't want to do anything with Sinhala music or any kind of music while I was here. But the moment I went there, I was listening to Nanda Marani, Amaradeva, all these like,
everyone who travels, they say this. Does that really happen? So there's like a change in your approach.
Absolutely. Because you want to find a way to have that connection to your culture, right? Because when you're living here, it's not an agenda for you. This is the culture. You're here. I mean, for example, like I didn't even think about the fact that I'm an island boy until I went there. Oh my gosh, I was actually from an island.
Yeah. Why it never strikes you when you're here. Yeah. Well,
yeah. How do you balance your true self, authentic self, especially when you have a public persona?
Huge challenge. It's huge, Sharon, because if I am completely myself, not everyone will take me seriously.
Oh.
I think. Not I think it has been my experience.
Please tell me what's an example.
The thing is, I'm not no comparisons because every personality is different. Like somebody else. They're not putting on. They're being themselves. Yeah. Like to me, I think also actually it's connects to a more serious topic of self-esteem.
Yeah.
I had to work on that a little bit. People are like, because what do you mean you don't have self-esteem? Like, what? But yeah, no, everybody struggles. And I think I had my struggles. Like I could not take a compliment so openly because I was like, okay, it's like I quickly slide it. I'll move on.
Brush it off.
Like, I still do it sometimes. Your question was,
how do you stay true to yourself in the midst of a public persona?
Yeah, so I continue to do that. And I think it's part of the reason, Sharan, why maybe I can't capture some, like there are boundaries from or capture some audiences or go a certain distance. But that I don't worry about too, because it's not something I'm willing to sacrifice in order to gain that kind of popularity.
Boundaries set by you or boundaries set by society?
Boundaries set by me, but for who I am.
I see what you're saying.
Of course, it can be the other way around us.
Right.
But boundaries meaning I am just very happy to be me. So, like, for example, putting on, let's say, like a certain air does not, I can't do that shit. I can't do that. But some who do get me, then I think it's valued and it's cherished much. So I really cherish that moment, that experience, if they understand it.
Right. So what I'm hearing is like when people don't understand you, people don't understand your way of interpreting music, that's where the criticisms and misunderstandings come. And
or the persona, yes, true. Yeah. But having said that, just like social media and the PR that you need to manage as an artist, I think it is important to learn certain ways and like the discipline and to sort of understand the dynamics between your audience and you. For example, like let's say somebody comes, you perform somewhere, some auditorium or something, and someone comes to take some pictures or whatever, like with the musicians, like you can't like keep chatting or talking, you know what I mean? Like they would sometimes expect that, but if you do it, like go a little overboard, it doesn't work well for what you represent, for the exclusivity that you're providing. The whole thing, it gets, it's part of artistry. So some of these things I have learned and I am doing. But some things about the natural self, I continue to be myself, even if it's sometimes misunderstood. That's okay.
So I asked this personally, my curiosity. I'm also married to a creative person, and you're married to a creative person. How does this work, being with a creative person? Like, what are the issues like where you're like bump heads, and what are the areas you work well together?
Interesting. You have it as well?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, I mean, like all the time. Like I am not allowed to pick colors because she's she's right on the colors. So
I'm like sneakily looking this way. Yeah. Of course. I mean, I think irrespective of whether you both are creatives or you are from two different worlds or in profession, I think the fact that you are two different personalities, you know what I mean? I think that's the thing, that's the base. I think that is the base. But common ground also is that creative bond that you can both pick on for better or and worse, you know, like what I mean? It's a very sweet and cool thing. And also sometimes the most annoying thing. But it's a thing that I think is like a backbone. So I consider that a good thing. With Billy, I mean, he has a like unbelievable amount of experience in musicianship. So what he brings to the table in that aspect is like cannot even be questioned by me. But you have a but.
it has to be a but.
It has to be a but. But that's where the personas are different. So for me, only at some point, some things have now really nicely merged, and I really understand because anyway, his thing is big band, big sound. So I get into that framework when I look at things with him, and then it all makes sense.
I see.
But when it comes to one of different things, or maybe some of my approaches to a different sound, sometimes he has to put on my hat to then understand that. And I have to do the same now. For example, even this sound topic I talked about, the hearing thing, I would really bring it up with him. And thankfully, he really agrees. Thankfully, he also realizes this is something that's a huge thing that we have to talk about. But in general, it's not really affecting the big bands as such. They can survive. But yeah, it's some things you can talk, negotiate. Some things you just leave it because you'll know that's not worth clashing about. And some things, over time, let's say it doesn't work today, you wait like a week or even a month for a few months, and then we can get on it, be on the same page.
Yeah. So this podcast is about creativity, and we recognize that creativity is a very messy thing sometimes, right? What's a failure or doubt or detour in your journey that ended up shaping it more than success you have had?
Wow. Yeah. I think after my master's, I explored musical theater because actually that's not the topic, but that is sort of the heart of my biggest passion.
Really?
Like music meets drama.
Okay.
On stage. Not off stage. But due to various factors and COVID and lights, turns, my journey brought me back to Sri Lanka. I did a few things then. I'm so grateful for that. In the UK, I'm different.
Gotcha.
So I learned so much from the UK, and so I think the whatever fed me at that time still keeps me going. But some of the little things that I thought I should do, and it getting messed up in the way anyway, art sometimes this was a good thing because it humbles you also, you know what I mean? Humbles you, and you want to explore old roots again, things you sometimes have forgotten about you. So I think I did that, and I'm happy and grateful for that.
Self-inventory, is that something that you value?
Yeah, very much. I think you're also like that.
Yeah. I realized I wasn't doing it for 10, until I was 30. But then after that, I'm doing it every day.
Yeah. But you know what? 30 is such an interesting decade. No?
Absolutely.
You're like, oh, what planet was I on?
Right. Clarity, and you don't care about what people think anymore. That's number one. That brings so much freedom to you.
Nice. It's so nice to hear, yeah. Yes, it does. But yeah, sometimes when we talk about these things, younger people are like, oh God.
Yeah. I'm like, just try to get to 30, then you'll understand.
I was like, you know what? Let's not talk. You just live and you get there. Yeah, and you'll understand.
The thing is, I think the way I look at creativity, it's literally I have to do it one way or the other. I call myself a multi-passion, right? I can't just do music. I can't just do video. Or I can't just do woodworking, all that kinds of stuff. I do almost everything at different times. I'm a very messy person in that sense that I stopped doing client work because I'm like, that's not how I work. I need to have the freedom to do all those creative things as I'm building something or whatever, because that's how my brain works.
Right. Okay.
How do you work? In that sense, in that sort of way, how do you function?
Okay. So the biggest challenge, Nikon, for me now is sometimes life,
Too busy?
Yeah, that's a challenge because now we're talking about 30s, right? So you move on a little bit further along, you have different challenges that come your way in your personal life, like family, that few more people now depending on you or for assistance, like basic things, or for just support, so you have very many roles. Your roles now become extremely important. that was just put like surviving before. And now it's like not surviving. It's crucial.
Right,
It's
right.
crucial. So with that, to find space for creativity sometimes is the challenge for me. And also because now like I'm a alone person or I need time, like blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because there's some who can really, when while a lot of things happening, they're inspired and they can do stuff. So I'm not that kind. But like I say, simple things like being mindful in that, let's say, small moment, maybe a walk I take and meet straight on that little walk, or
Do you journal? Do you write?
not regularly, but sometimes I do. Yeah, it helps.
When do you do it? When you are at crucial, like crazy, like freaking out point? Is that when you write?
Freaking out. Wow. Yeah, I do that too. Yes, I have done, but not lately. Lately, like in the nights.
Okay.
I like to at least look back on the day and I'm like happy to get that moment. That simple moment, sipping cup of coffee, tea, or oh my goodness, in the shower.
Yeah.
Really?
The previous guest is the same thing. He's like, I take a lot of showers.
Showers? Like the entire melody came to me while I was like, yeah.
Wow.
So I ran, so I just like, grabbed the phone with the water. Like I'm like, oh goodness, get the towel and dry it up.
So melodies come to you.
Melodies, much of the time, shower and late night. That 1 to 3 zone.
Mm-hmm. So you're a late night owl? The same. Same. I sleep around.
Not good. I can't say not good.
Yeah,
but
it's.
try to balance it out.
Yeah.
Help.
That's like literally when, and yeah, that's when my best thinking happens.
Yeah.
When people are listening to your music, what do you hope they feel?
That's nice. Like I hope they feel a true connection. Not to me, but whatever the music or the lyrics, lyrically or musically, I hope they are moved. Like either to think about something or to just really cherish that moment. I think there's so many, who's like everyone's going through not so easy times these days, right? A lot of amongst the good you are experiencing, there are challenges, right, for everyone. So I feel music really helps you calm down or gives you strength or gives you clarity. So I hope these things are in some ways experienced when I listen to the music. And just that honesty, like whatever I sing, if they feel some honesty, gosh, I'll be so happy.
Do you have like a mission in life?
Wow, what's your mission?
Oh, my mission is to inspire people to create.
Right. And that's obviously one of the reasons that this has happened.
Yeah. Why else would I do this on a vacation?
Yes, good question. Yeah, good. Yeah, absolutely. I asked you, did you take time?
I did. I'm here for a month, so I figured I did 2 weeks of vacation. Like,
my mission, if I can, inspire people to embrace themselves for who they are. Like, again, it's only human that we sometimes get competitive, we get jealous, we get a little insecure. All these things are like, we all go through, right? But if we can shed them as much as we can and be happy in our own skin, be happy in our own skin.
Would you say that to anybody who's wanting to get into singing and do what you're doing or whatever? Like, that isn't that important?
Absolutely. I think it's really, again, I didn't have it, it's been a journey and I'm still learning and still getting that.
Do you think you would change if you knew all these things at a young age?
Wow, that really helped me to be more secure, Sharon. Sure.
Yeah.
Because we are all very insecure.
Yeah.
Only a few like the guy you talked about who skipped
Yeah. Well, he also had a lot of mentors.
Oh, yeah. See, okay, I think mentors really, really help. If you can have, it need not be just your parents or, you know what I mean, like that close. It could be some very different person, not even a teacher, anybody. I think amazing not to have a mentor, yeah.
So when I was growing up, creatives were looked as a bunch of weirdos in society here.
That's true.
Right? My favorite example I think of is Weedy Natya,
Right.
street performers.
Yes.
I remember how people would talk, oh, these kids are crazy and all of those things instead of doing something productive with themselves. And now that I think about them, I'm like, they're actually way more passionate about what they wanted to say, the message they wanted to bring out in society, that they were so crazy enough to stand in the hot sun and do a drama or whatever to get a message out there. So my question is, do you think it has changed since then? Or are we, yeah.
It has changed. I mean, that those are things we have to be really happy and proud
Yes,
of our
absolutely.
journey,
Yes.
evolution. So where does credit has to go to? I think some artists, musicians, creators of every medium who literally sacrificed their lives. I think
Mm-hmm.
that they suffered.
Yeah.
Actually, they suffered, Shaban. Like I think psychologically, economically, socially, in every way. My heart goes out to these names who are not with us anymore. I get so emotional actually. Like I think they've done so much, a huge service, and we don't even see. You are thinking about it, but we don't take a moment to give tribute to these people gone before us. I think for Sri Lankan artists, these musicians, these artists, like I was saying, Mr. because I can think of few.
Right.
Actually they got this, the people threw eggs, like to that level, and the trauma was that much. And I think sometimes they couldn't marry who they wanted. Families didn't want to give their children to artists who were seen as not steady in every way. Anyways, so Sri Lanka has come a long way, and I'm truly am overwhelmed, as you can clearly see. But still, creators are giving it that 200% despite what they get in return. So we still have a long journey to go for what we have come and how now society has accepted creators. We should be super thankful and support one another. I think creators, we had to support one another so much more so we can be a really solid entity, just like the corporate world, all the others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple things, even things, Sharan, like traveling for a creator, for an artist to a different country. If they just say they just want to go see that country, right? And you produce what you can as the creator. You don't have the pay slips and the blah, 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 the list of requirements. Very unlikely. The challenges and the likelihood of it is huge.
Yeah.
Compared to others who are in different professions. So life is not easy still. But again, thankfully, we have achieved something and it's making ripples. Good. It's great.
As I've been staying here the last couple of weeks, I've been asking people, all sorts of people here, about life here and opportunities and things like that. One side of the aisle, people are like, we don't have opportunities, and things like that. Other side of the aisle, they're saying we do have opportunities. It's just self-limited behavior, like negative things like that. Now, I'm curious, what is your opinion here?
Challenges will always be. But like I said, we have come a certain journey. So take advantage of the few pluses you see. I would say again, have come with a positive outlook in general, so that at least propel you even 2 steps forward.
Yeah.
Right. And again, like social media now has given every creator their own platform.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel if you are not scared to be yourself, break boundaries, and not ashamed or insecure of all the feedback that'll come. There'll be good and bad for sure, right? I think that is the thing that creators have to accept the most. You are going to be criticized no matter what you do.
Be ready for it.
No matter what you do, be ready for it. And you will have support and love as well, amazingly. But yeah, come ready and use the platforms you can have and you can create for your own self. And very much my point is be consistent. Like I think that is where these days, like people expect outcomes, results like super quickly.
Yeah.
And honestly, it never comes that way. Even like now, see, it's like we've been around for long. There are seasons which are very dry, Sharan. It's still the same, it can be very dry. But this is your passion. You don't give up, you're consistent, and there's a return in the seasons change.
Right.
So for creators, there'll always be seasons. But despite the seasons, you continue to create, you continue to keep your rhythm going. In the literal rhythm, keep clicking those.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so always look for the possibilities. Even if there are a few. Yes, I think I hear those who say that they're struggling, that they have limited. I hear them because still some parts here, some levels are difficult to get to because different things are being controlled by different people. An opportunity is really sometimes favored upon. But don't think about those. You do your thing, and people will notice you. Maybe like big event houses, or maybe they want to give you the opportunity you want to have.
Yeah.
But some people will, and something will happen eventually. Yeah.
The beautiful thing that I find really fascinating and beautiful about social media now is that it's so story focused. Right. And one of my favorite, I wish I could keep forgetting this guy's name, but a favorite social media person in Sri Lanka, he's a woodworker. He lives in I forget, in some rural area. Him and his wife, they create stuff out of wood, like katam and all kinds of stuff. And every time he tells a beautiful story about that. While he's making, or the challenges he faced and whatever. And he's very authentic in himself. And I love watching his stuff. And he has a big following in Sri Lanka. And whenever I see that, I'm like, okay, the quality is not that great, but they use whatever they have. And one thing I hear about you saying is that regardless of the outcome, you need to know what you're passionate about and then try to stick with it.
Yeah. And learn a bit. Like I'm sure, we all make mistakes, right? So if you can, because if you're going to be fixed upon something or arrogant about it, you can't go anywhere. You have to identify your weaknesses and learn from even the most critical feedback, Sharan. This is again a discovery I made in the last few years. Because now when I see something, it's a full-on dismissal, the feedback, I'll be like, okay, great. I'm not affected. I skip it.
Yeah.
I don't read the full thing. But now I take time to read the full thing, and I am dissecting, and there are actually 2 or 3 things I take away and I really learned from it. Actually, this is one thing that Billy shared with me, and through him, I really learned to do this. And it has helped a lot to correct those mistakes, because some things we'll never see, and that person saw it in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's true. When you really think about it, you can improve. So learn.
Humility.
Yeah. And the fact that take yourself seriously, but also, you know what I mean? Like that humor also.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh my God, like you don't get depressed about it.
Yeah.
You laugh at the same time you're learning it.
You want to know if there's truth to it.
Yeah. Laugh in the sense there's some actual laughable comments where the vocab you can't say it on, you know what I mean, on air. So it's so laughable. I laugh like, good Lord, why are they so angry?
Right.
Like, but also there's you have to learn different people's mindsets and things you can learn from their perspective. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about social media, like if you're not scared to put your authentic self out there, all of those things. What if somebody's actually scared and they do want to get to the place where you're at? How do they overcome that?
Well, yeah, it's all right. Again, first of all, accept that you're scared, right? Just accept it. Sit with that feeling. Like, I know this might be cliche. Like now we hear this all the time about accepting emotions and so on, but I think it's super important. Like, accept that you're scared. Again, skipping it will never help you.
Yeah.
And 2, Like, see, if a good person or somebody with very good intention or they're true to himself, Sharan, they won't be, I won't like, okay, let's say it's you, you're such a great person. You're not going to convince me that you're a great person, Sharan.
No.
The whole like trait of being a fantastic person or great personality, you don't have to convince anyone that you are that, right? But same with creativity, like good creativity, it's never forced. So or it's never compared or oh good, that's great. So let me put a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. It's so natural. It flows. So just like that, I would say to anybody who's scared, do a few things that are totally new, record it if you're not sure of it. And then record the usual things you do, and you will definitely see a difference. And I'm sure people pick up on it. Like people love that raw energy. So be you. Somebody else might be doing something amazing,
Yeah.
but if you try to do it just like that, might be a big fail. Yeah.
I heard recently following trends might help you get somewhere, but on social media, but you don't build your authentic audience and tribe.
Yeah. I mean, you can, like I say, extract like few things might really help you. Few tricks, you know what I mean? Tips and tricks are superb, but like feed it to your delivery. Yeah.
Anything you need to say to the people watching?
Oh, hello. I mean, first of all, these kind of like podcasts, if you're watching it in the first place, kudos to you.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay? Like, amazing. And please like subscribe to this wonderful man's channel and keep sharing this kind of thing, because I think like what is life if we don't have time to listen to one another and learn from one another, and all the best to all the creators out there who are really, I know we're all biased because we are in that subject area, but honestly, I think it's one of the most joyous things in life and also one of the most difficult things that
very difficult.
we have chosen to do.
Yeah.
It's our choice, right? So, yeah, more courage and more positive vibes to you, and keep going. Keep going. And because even smallest thing that you think is not a big deal, it's probably going to make a ripple, make a difference in our journey and in other people's lives.
That's it, Devashree. It's super cool to kind of get a glimpse of your creative odyssey. And thank you for being so humble and real and authentic. I wish you all the best in your endeavors. And if you're watching, what are something that actually sparked your interest from what Devashree said? And what are some of the questions that popped up? Write on the comments. Would love to start a conversation. And I hope this inspired you. All I gotta say is until next time, keep dreaming, keep creating, and keep going on your own creative odyssey. See you later. Bye-bye.